everyone, and welcome to a new TBG Talk. We know it's been some time, but we're back in action. We will be talking today about the Pokemon Direct presentation that was this past Tuesday, and we'll be talking about the 3 games that were announced, and we will be giving you some of our thoughts and also some of our thoughts of what was not in the presentation. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Today is joining me Lauro Chapa.
Hey guys.
And well, my name is Paco Trevino, and well, let's get to it. So, Lauro, the 3 games that were announced this past Direct were Pokken Tournament Deluxe, the first Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch, by the way.
That's right.
Ultra Pokemon Sun and Moon, and what was the other one again?
The Virtual Console of the second generation.
Yeah, the Virtual Console. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot for a second there. But yeah, well, let's get started with the one that the Direct actually started, Pokken Tournament Deluxe. So we are seeing a trend here, I guess.
Yeah.
And well, personally, as a Pokken Tournament player on the Wii U, I gotta say I have mixed feelings about this. First, well, I really like the new characters, I suppose. I mean, we knew about at least 4 of them through the arcade version available in Japan, but the C2I was completely new, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the announcement overall?
Well, I kind of like this better than, for example, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because in Mario Kart 8, for example, myself and I think you too and Carlos also, we bought all the DLC for Mario Kart 8, and then they expect us to buy the game completely again. But in the case of Pokken, we didn't get the DLC for the Wii U version, so I kind of like that for this occasion.
Yeah, it's definitely a much, I guess, sweeter or smoother deal than when it was with Mario Kart, because Mario Kart only introduced like one mode, which was battle mode with its little modes, and the additional additional racers. But other than that, honestly, if you already had Mario Kart 8, $60 was a lot to just be able to play it on the go, really. And like you said, with Pokken, maybe the 4 characters, 5, counting the CDI, are maybe enough to justify the new content, especially if we see down the line maybe some just some new stages or something like that.
And we also have
actually something that I was also interested. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, 3 versus 3, very Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, I would say.
Yeah, that's right.
And I actually think that could open the possibilities to a lot of new gameplay modes. In fact, it would be interesting to see if the competitive scene embraces that instead of the 1v1.
Yeah. I kind of didn't get quite the idea how the 3v3s are gonna work. Like, is it like each Pokemon is every round, or each Pokemon is at the same time in your team and you can change in real time, or how is it gonna be?
Well, if it is at all like Tekken, which I guess it is because of Namco Bandai,
sure,
I would say that it's, in Tekken, in Tekken Tag Tournament, you choose your 2 characters. They each have their own life bar, but if one of them dies while you're playing as them, you lose. Regardless if the other guy has its life bar complete, you still lose.
So it's not like
maybe they will handle
SNK games where like if one dies, the next one comes to life.
Yeah, it's not like that.
Okay.
It's in Tekken, so I'm guessing Pokken will be similar to that. And I'm not sure if how they will implement the change, because I remember that Select is not used at all. Neither are the triggers, just the bumpers. So they could do that, or they could replace the Poke Assist You know how in
Sure.
Pokken you have this Pokemon that you choose to assist you, whether
Yeah.
it's Latios or Fennekin, but maybe they will just remap that button
Yeah,
to
that
change.
that kind of makes me think it's gonna be the way of rounds. Like one dies and then you continue with the next one, kind of like real Pokemon, you know. I mean, not real, but the classic RPG, where I mean, if one dies, you continue to battle with your other Pokemon, right?
Yeah, it's entirely possible, and in fact, that would mimic how, like you said, it plays in Pokemon and in most RPGs. But I don't know, maybe. I mean, actually, now that you bring it up, it could just be like Tekken or Pokemon, so it's completely open to either possibility.
I think we'll know by E3.
I guess so, because we will be. Yeah, they said that they would have an entire live stream with the treehouse. So.
And are they having a tournament
So yeah,
or just
we
the
probably
treehouse?
will know by then. Oh, that's right. But maybe the tournament will be only 1v1.
Sure,
Who knows?
that's right.
Um, and I don't know. Do you see them switching at all to the new 3v3 mode instead of 1v1 in terms of the competitive scene?
It depends on how it works, because and also another possibility that I saw is that it's actual three players, not like one controlling three characters, but because in the trailer we see two people battle it out, then two other people, then two other people. So that makes me think that it's going to be like actual like three people playing the game, so six people. So maybe I think it's like another branch of the competitive scene, like in Smash 4 we have doubles, in Melee we have doubles. So maybe it's kind of like that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It could go maybe a separate part altogether for Pokken. Something that has to be said about the game is that I do remember, I mean, watching live streams and everything. I remember that the characters did have a short lifespan, like
Okay.
the rounds could get I'm sorry, the rounds could get relatively short, so maybe this could help fix that. Who knows?
Maybe.
Well, I guess that's about enough about Pokken Tournament. It's just the first game that we're going to cover today. Well, let's get to the next one, probably the one that has the most to be said about in terms of what it is and what it isn't, and that's the Ultra versions of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Just a short summary of what we know so far, which is, well, not very much, but it's basically a similar idea to what we saw with Pokemon Black and White 2. It's a new story that is happening in the same region of Alola, and we are seeing new versions of existing Pokemon and new Pokemon altogether. But aside from that, we know very little of. So, well, with that premise, Lauro, what were your thoughts, or your initial thoughts, your first impression on the whole announcement?
Well, my first impression was weird, because when I saw Pokemon Sun and Moon in the trailer, I thought it was just that, like they were just going to show a frame of the kids playing regular Sun and Moon, but it's like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and I kind of was like weirded out, because you know the rumors going into this was that it's going to be Stars on the Switch. So yeah, I kind of was like that, and I'm not really that interested in like another game in the same region. But you know, I gotta admit the new Pokemon's the new legendaries look really cool with a Necrozma armor or whatever it's gonna be called. So I don't know, maybe Nintendo shows more of it, and I'm more interested in it. What they said that it was going to be like a alternate story, not that much of a sequel. So yeah, maybe something interesting happens there.
Yeah, you are right about the alternate story. I was wrong to compare it with Black and White 2 in that sense. Yeah, it's more so an alternate version, which kind of ponders into the multiverse thing that they have introduced since Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, which is kind of crazy. And well, like you said, I was expecting a little bit more out of the new main Pokemon game or games. I mean, the revisions are nice, but like you said, we first heard that maybe we were getting Pokemon Stars for the Switch, or maybe Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes for the 3DS or Switch. So seeing a more similar sequel on the same hardware, I gotta say, was relatively disappointing. I mean, they still look great, and maybe if they announce a few new things,
I mean, Sumo,
I will be more convinced.
The best Pokemon games out there.
Yeah, they are. I mean, you can say what you will about the region itself or the new Pokemon, but in terms of games, they are probably the best ones. And yeah, I mean, I guess that if they announce really cool things down the line, I mean, they still have the full year to hype it up. So maybe if they announce a few new things that I think are worth it, I might be more interested into it. But so far, they are out of that presentation, they are the two games that I'm the least excited about.
Yeah, I think that with this game, they're gonna have a comeback for the Mega Evolutions and kind of like have new Mega Evolutions for old Pokemon and Pokemon of Alola.
Yeah, actually, you mentioned that to me earlier today, and I think that you're right. I mean, granted, the trailer kind of suggests that, but I do think that they will be reintroducing Mega Evolutions because I think it was Carlos actually that told us that in events they were giving Mega Stones that were not available in Pokemon Sun and Moon. So, yeah, that right there suggests that they were bringing back the Mega Stones at some point in game as well. And I mean, it's a really cool feature. I really think that it allows for all cool possibilities.
You know, and with the Gen 2 Virtual Console games, I think that it's a possibility that we get a Gen 2 starter Mega Evolutions now.
Yeah, that would be really, really cool. Especially because you will be able to port them to the new games just like you could with the first generation, you know, in the Virtual Console. And actually, well, I guess that's a perfect segue to the third announcement, which was, like you said, the Virtual Console releases of the Generation 2 of Pokemon, which are Silver and Gold, and interestingly, not Crystal. And I don't know, what do you think about the announcement altogether? I mean, are you interested at all in the sports?
I mean, I'm not that much interested because, as I was telling you before, this was the generation probably after Sumo that I played the most when I was a kid. So I don't know, I'm not that much of a replaying RPG kind of guy, but I know a lot of people wanted this generation to be in the Virtual Console, and I saw people getting excited about this, some more than the sequels of Sumo, so yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I'm actually right in that category that you just mentioned. I'm more excited about replaying Pokemon. I'm gonna pick Silver, by the way. But I'm more excited about replaying Silver than playing Ultra Sun, at least right now. I mean, granted, I'm also thinking about the format, you know, the Virtual Console is cheaper, I can play it in spurts and not really feel like I have to beat this game because it's a game that everyone is talking about, and I also have already beaten it in the past, so it's a very different kind of experience. But I'm definitely interested in playing that. Last year I played Pokemon Yellow when it came out, and that was a blast. And it was really cool seeing, you know, people exploiting the game with the glitches because they kept it in the game. So it would be really cool to see a little community, I guess, reviving the game together.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. It's different. It's almost like, you know, I'm a huge movie fan, and you know this, but the audience maybe doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's like when you go to like screenings of really old movies, and you start dissecting it. Like, I don't know, you watch, I don't know, Citizen Kane or something like that,
Yeah.
and people start talking about it and what's cool, what's not so cool anymore, and yeah, I guess that it's kind of similar like that, just in video games.
Yeah, I really haven't thought it like that because, you know, it's not the same playing a game when you're a kid versus when you're an adult, and, you know, also to kind of see that how far have games come from all those years. It's cool to see that.
Yeah, and it would be really cool if they tied it together, like you said. Maybe introduce Mega Evolutions of the starters of Gen 2, like you mentioned, or maybe other Gen 2 Pokemon. Maybe make the legendaries available in Ultra Sun and Moon. I don't know.
That would be cool.
There's a ton of things that they could try right there.
Yeah.
I mean, similarly to how Sun and Moon tied to the first generation in many ways, you know, with the Alolan forms and whatnot.
Yeah, that's right.
And well, I think, I mean, I don't know, do you have anything else to add? I mean, maybe about any of these three announcements?
Well, I think that the problem with this direct was that we got a wrong hype because there was, you know, the rumor of stars. But overall, I think it was good, you know. Porting Switch games, I think it's necessary because, I mean, Switch, Wii U games, because not everybody got to play the Wii U, and I think that this is the you know, the way to do it, and play them on the go. It's great, and you know.
Yeah, I agree with you. Pokken is a great, like, this is the second chance that the game gets to really ponder an audience, because the game was definitely held back by the Wii U.
Yeah,
definitely in terms of audience. And I think that this is a great chance for a lot of people to play it for the first time. And just as a side note, later in the day we learned that the Pokken Wii U controller will work with the Switch version, so
yeah,
that's great news. Yeah, that's great news if you're into, like, having the USB controller right into the dock instead of having a Bluetooth controller. So yeah, I'm definitely going to look in. I'm looking forward to whatever they have to say about the game later on, and, you know, buy it day one if I can. And yeah, I mean, and just like you about the Ultra Sun and Moon, I would have much preferred to see the stars for the Switch, but it's not the case, and it's not such a bummer. I mean, it's still Pokemon, it's still a new game, so we really can't complain too much. So yeah. Well, I guess that's it for this TBG talk. This has been Paco Trevino from the TB Gamers, and today I was joined with TB Gamer Laura Chapap.
Thanks, guys.
Until next time, bye bye.